Yes. Good morning, good Thursday, everybody.
I can.
Welcome to our first Thursday live chat. And I'm so excited to this is the first time that I would be co-hosted by a very inspiring leader in the community. Today, this is our first discussion. This is a 45-minute discussion regarding mental health and what are the five strategies you can deal whether you are a full-time mom, whether you have job, most of all if you're entrepreneurs, beauty queens. We're going to go over with that in the next 30 to 45 minutes, but we encourage everybody. Again, I'm Chris. To put your comments or any feedback questions, we will answer it during our hot topics. But now, our show for today is what the Chris and Jill live chat. This is the serving the global community of entrepreneurs. Before we proceed, and I introduce my fellow host. I am Christopher, IRS acceptance agent. A finished bachelor's of science in nursing, but now I'm an entrepreneur and founder of the virtual and online tax and bookkeeping here in the US. Because of this journey as an entrepreneur, I got awarded as a 2018 US Business Minority of the Year with US and congressional recognition. There you go. You can see it on my screen. But now so happy to be co hosted by no other than she is a community leader, business and personal coach. She owns multiple properties. And also, she's a licensed occupational therapist and the current chair of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Dallas Fort Worth. No other than the gorgeous, the stunning Miss Coach Jill Lasaka. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Can you
Sound
hear?
check. Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, yes, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jill, Coach Jill, and I'm Chris. I'm so excited and honored to join you in this digital platform where we're going to be talking about a very important topic that I think affects all of us, which is mental health. Chris, I'd like to start this just to share about who I am. So I came here to America 20 years ago with with just the dream to be successful here. And I think one of the things that have transpired is that I had the opportunity to, along with a great organization, the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, we stage a networking event, and that's how I met you. And through that networking event, we had series of conversations, and then we saw both our vision and our missions are aligned, which is really about empowering communities of global entrepreneurs and leaders. And so, do you want to share our mission and vision?
Yes, and that's what I like about it. Like we have the same passion and vision on helping everybody because as a full-time employee before as a healthcare worker, we would also like to inspire everybody that you could do it and you can make it to be your own boss. You could build a global company that would give more platform for other Filipinos or in entrepreneurs in general and immigrants to really make your name anywhere you go. That's why we came up with the vision of the Chris and Jill is to be a world-class digital global space where mentors and coaches sharing learnings, education, and programs to enrich the knowledge, the skills, and the mindset of the global entrepreneurs. What would be the mission that we have for them?
So, Chris, I'd like to share it with our audience that we really want to educate,
Mhm.
want to inspire, and we want to empower the global community of entrepreneurs and build and inspire a generation of thought leaders, influencers, and dream builders. You and me, Chris, we share that common dream to be successful in life. And, it's been a hard work. It's been a product of hard work, determination, and discipline. And more importantly, we want to create and support a digital network for present, existing, and future entrepreneurs. So we really want to make this platform to serve the community.
Exactly. And that's the reason why we're building an industry in the digital economy. And it all starts on the mindset. Remember, being an entrepreneur, you have to relearn, unlearn, and learn over and over again because being an entrepreneur is not a full time employee. You really have to test the water. You need to be strategic. For those of you who are listening right now, can you please type what do you want to be, or what business you want to be with, or you want to do right now, or any idea that you have in mind for a business. And that's the reason why mental health is very important. You're going to struggle. There are so many challenges, sorrows, pains in doing this journey. And sometimes even your loved ones, you don't get the support. That's the reason why it's very important to connect with the network, with sharing the same mindset, the same passion and vision with you. All right. So today, we would like to discuss, Coach Jill, the recent incident of what happened to the 2019 Miss Universe. So what happened to her? We would
She's
like
Miss
to. This is a very current. Let me pull out the profile. The recent death of the Miss USA 2019, Cheslie Kryst, has prompted everyone to speak out about mental health struggles and the weight of the crown. The 30-year-old attorney with an MBA fell to her death from a high floor of a 60-story building in Manhattan on Sunday, last January 30, and was pronounced dead at the scene. Coach Jill,
Chris,
I
when I
know
yes,
you mentioned you met her. Can you tell me something more about this?
yeah, Chris. I work for a one of the biggest pageant blog in the fashion industry, which is Sash Factor, and I had the opportunity to meet Miss Christie. She was Miss USA, and she was representing our country first in Georgia. And from the outset, when I looked at her, she's really the epitome of beauty, of grace, of intelligence. She's a lawyer, she's a beauty queen, and she really transcended the concept of beauty with a purpose. And it's a sad thing what happened to her. I think there were reports that she is considered what you call as a highly functional individual suffering from depression. So there's many of those people who seem to work so well, and yet deep inside they're going through a lot emotionally. They're going through anxieties and depressions. And mental health really encompasses the emotional, psychological, and the social well-being. So why is mental health very important? And our knowledge really is very important about this, because it affects the way we think, it affects the way we behave, Chris.
Yes,
Everything that we do, whether we're an entrepreneur, whether you are a mother, whether you are a homemaker, whether you are a C of the company, how you think every day, how you process and handle stress can have such a huge impact on your decision making as an individual. So that's why it's very important to really make sure that you if you're going through depression or anxiety and it affects your mental health, it's very important to really seek help. And I think this is a sad case. And if somehow, somewhere, someone have reached out, or have access to her during her last moment, who knows, a life could have been saved.
correct. That's the reason why it reminds me of what you see is not always the truth. Being
Mhm.
entrepreneurs and being a mother, being a parent, being a manager, any type or career, and even a student, you are handling stress. But you know what? The show must go on. For our audience out there, what stress are you experiencing? Put on the comment section below. It's better
Mhm.
to address it and to acknowledge it, but also on the receiving end, whether you're a family, you're a friend, or just a colleague. The first thing I think that you want to do whenever shooting a message to your friends or to your loved ones is greet them or tell them how they are before any. It's just a common thing for us. We always ask for something right there and then before even acknowledging the other person. It's
Yes,
very
Chris, I want to
important. Mhm.
Mhm. I want to add on, every day we experience many various amount of stress in our lives, whether we're working, whether we're starting our company, whether we're managing a team of members in our business. So a lot of this stress can lead up to really affect our mental health, our mindset, and it can contribute to anxiety, headaches, depression, and even heart disease, and even premature death. Like just what happened with Miss USA. So I think it's very important to have these conversations, because you never know the life whoever is the life that you're going to be able to save. And I think we're using this digital platform, to share our knowledge and understanding of that disease process, and how we can handle illness related to mental health.
Yes, and also I think being an overseas Filipino workers, I went to the Philippines. Some of the parents, like the people that I met, they assume the responsibility of being a breadwinner,
Right.
because when you impose that kind of perception to your family member who would be the breadwinner, like I have cousins in Dubai, I have friends in Japan, in other countries, they started to assume the responsibility that they are invisible and they're not going to be vulnerable with every situation, either with the COVID situation, with their financial. Everybody is struggle wherever they are. But the truth of the matter is, it's how you see how you handle it, the different perspectives on how to cope up, and the support system is very important. And now I'd like to ask you personally, what stresses you the most up to this point, Coach Jill, and how do you handle
Yes.
that?
Right, Chris. If I look inside the things that I do, I manage several businesses. I have a real estate business in the Philippines, and I have a team there. And then I also run a company here, and then I have a fashion line, and I'll also serve the community in various positions within the community. So all of this range of activities that I do for myself, to improve myself, to professionally elevate myself, this can create so much stress. And for anyone that does not have the right mindset, learning, having that healthy coping mechanisms to handle stress and deadlines, and make sure that you're able to be functional, and you be able to deliver what needs to be, to deliver the expectations of others. So very important that I always time to really understand the significance of the things that I pursue. And a
Yes.
couple of years ago, I came to the realizations that we can't please everybody,
Right.
but we can take care of who we are, our mindset. And through that moments of stress, I always try to step back, that the stress don't define me, Chris. It's me defining my stress. So, and that mindset has really given me a unique perspective how to handle all this wide variety of responsibility and expectations. At the end of the day, it's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you do with what.
Yes, that's a very good point. And you emphasize the word time and the stress. The time is, it's something that you need to find balance. You have to enjoy your work, but at the same, you work hard, you play hard. That's where you can find balance. That's why I encourage everybody, when you have a friend that might be an accountant or might be a doctor, and if it's a social gathering, try to ask them their personal stuff their before digging their expertise, because sometimes when they socialize with you, they just want to be them. They just want to be treated as a young Chris or a young Jill,
Right.
just to have a conversation and not to talk about what is the taxation be like. Because sometimes, like even me personally, I'm kind of losing my identity already when my classmates, my friends, they talk to me, because if it's a weekend, let's say Sunday, they, instead of me getting to know me, they're going to talk about, hey, how much taxation would this incur? Is there 30% deduction? What are the ways? So it becomes now a consultation part where I don't mind doing that, but there should be the perfect time and perfect place. We
Right.
need to find balance on our social aspect, our financial aspect, and even our personal. And when
Chris,
you
I'd like to
mentioned
add.
about the stress, yes, go ahead, Coach
Yes,
Jill.
our relationships, whether it's personal and professional, can be a major source of stress as well. When you have a relationship that's not doing well, it puts undue pressure on you. It mindset, your energy level. When you're not, when you work in a very stressful workplace, that creates a level of discontentment and happiness that is very, very, very important when you want to function at a high level. So learning to define the boundaries in our relationship is really a healthy way to cope up with the amount of stress that we go through. Again, at the end of the day, no one will take care of yourself. Not your family, not your friends. The responsibility lies in yourself. So drawing the boundaries, making sure that people respect your time, people understand that you have a personal life away from your professional life, and that it's very important to really take care of that mindset, Chris. At the end of the day, mindset is what's gonna make you that's gonna be the key to success for you. If you have a bad mindset, if you have a mindset that brings you down, you're gonna live an unproductive and a bitter life. But if you have a mindset that's positive, that brings energy from all around you, and that a mindset that is proactively growing and thriving, then you're gonna have the best life you can ever be.
Exactly. And that's why for our listeners and viewers out there, can you please type on the comment section below, how do you handle stress in one word? How do you handle your stress right now? Whether you're eating, you're shopping, you're working out, you're traveling, anything will do as long as it makes you feel good about yourself. Because of that, we will go on the different five strategies on what are the things that we can do. Five effective coping strategies to handle stress in terms of our mental health. Number one is about meditation or exercise. Can you tell me more? What is meditation
Yes,
and
Chris.
exercise?
It's very important. Meditation is really that is a very effective strategy to bring your focus to yourself, your mindset, how your thought process are, and taking a minute, even just 15 minutes a day, to focus on your mind can really help reduce pain, anxiety, and stress level. And people have always said that meditation is really working on your nervous system. There is the way that when you take that moment to reflect and commune with the world around you and really just focused on yourself, that helps increase heart rate, that helps with the breathing and the blood pressures. It controls your blood pressure during times of stress. And also there is that spiritual component, Chris, of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
It your meditation, you just really focused on yourself in moments of stress, and that helps you hone and improve your sense of creativity. It strengthens and sharpens your intuition, and more importantly, Chris, it builds connection to yourself. When you're connected to yourself, Chris, you know what you want, you know what your priorities, and then you can effectively handle yourself. Your amount the amount of energy that you spend on things that doesn't matter, and you only want to focus on things that really builds you up, that allows you to grow as an individual, as a lover, as a parent, and as a entrepreneur.
Right. That's why if have one person, one personal coach that I really follow is Tony Robbins. He said
Oh, I love him.
physiology is, yes, I
Yes.
love him. Guys, type Tony Robbins about psychology of success or unleash your unlimited potential. You will learn what is the correlation of the body to the mind, because physiology is psychology. Remember, the
Exactly.
more active you are, our emotion is being determined on the first few days or first few hours on how we start the day. That's the reason why emotion, take this down, guys, if you're listening, emotion is energy in motion. You have to give that kind of energy. If you want to push up, drink a cup of coffee in the morning, do your exercise, because it helps to make your blood flow. When you have a good active blood flow to your body, it has more oxygen to the brain, and then it gives you tons and fire up ideas with all the solutions. If you have one problem, you come out with 5, 10 solutions. That is a
Yes.
good strategy. But now I'm asking Coach Jill, do you have a specific time during the day that you do meditation or exercise?
Chris, what you just said was very powerful, but with respect to specific time, so I'm an early riser, and I love early mornings because my brain is fresh, I get enough sleep, and then I use the first hour of the day to read, to write, and meditate and pray. And again, there is that spiritual component that that meditations brings to our lives. And when you train your mind and your spirit to be grateful, to affirm the things that's important to you, whether it's family, whether it's faith, whether it's happiness, that brings you to the core sense of who you are as an individual. And so I use the first R, Chris, because to me that sets the agenda, that sets the tempo, that sets the energy level for the rest of the day. So taking time, I would encourage everyone to find the first time, the first hour of the day, to just meditate, find a space that's peaceful. It can be outdoors or indoor, and then just collect your thoughts and process your thoughts and express a prayer of gratitude. That has worked for me, and I hope that that works for you guys.
Yes, on my end, I do it 3 to 5 times. Not meditation, but
Mhm.
more on exercise. I try to be more random. Like I go to the park, like run there for 30 to 45 minutes. Even just by walking, you do not really have to be super over competitive with others. Just do it on your own pace. You could be a
Right,
morning person, or you could be an evening night person. So when I'm waking up usually like 5:45 a.m., like having that kind of no stimulation, not checking your emails, your phone, just
right,
focusing on that, it creates that kind of momentum and accomplishment. Then you go to the treadmill, those kind of things, and it's really healthy for the body. The older that we get, the more activity that we need, enable for us to feel more active and to prevent any type of diseases coming or from an underlying being the underlying stress that we have. It's just about the physiology, and that will create your momentum and your psychology to success.
right.
Correct?
Chris, with my patients, with as an occupational therapist, I work with different patients on either an emotion, either on a psychological diagnosis or medical issues. Now, exercise has really a proven benefits. One, it boosts, it strengthens your body and the muscles, and
Mm-hmm.
helps really releases that endorphins. Now, the endorphins, that plays a very important role in the release of sense of well-being, that sense. Did you notice that even if you do a very strenuous exercises, but the release of endorphins makes you feel good? So I
Correct.
would really
The happy
suggest for
hormone.
people, yes, the hell, yes, exactly. And I would really encourage everyone out there to develop that regimen for exercise. It's good for the body, and it's also good for the mind.
Yes, if there's a happy hormone, there's also a bad hormone. If you always feel depressed and you always feel all the problems within your shoulder, the body
Right,
also releases the bad chemical that makes you feel sick. That's the reason why it all starts on the day. Now, when let me just share you a real quick when I was in the Philippines, because we were quarantined for 5 days in the hotel.
hmm,
You know what I did, because we're limited
right,
on going
yes,
out. I think I was on the 30th floor. So what I did the morning walk from the 30th floor going down all to the first floor and then going back up. And that's really I tried to really maximize the time and then the space that I have, and it makes you feel good being
right,
in an enclosed space, but you're still doing something. That's the reason
yes,
why the step number two, because I'd like to meet up with my family and friends, is to surround yourself with positive people. Why is it surrounding yourself with positive people? Okay, there's a adjective, positive people help you to recover or to cope up with stress.
yes. Chris, our relationships, our family, our friends, our co-workers, they play a very critical part in our life as an individual. And the quality of our family and friends, the energy that they bring to us, determine our way of life as well. So when you have a very dysfunctional family that creates a huge amount of stress for you, that's going to create a lot of unhappiness. That's And then if you have friends that just are just in the habit of self destructions, or saying things that destroys or demeans you, then they are part of that negative force that you need to really remove. it's very important to take responsibility on the quality of people that we bring. And when I say quality, it has something to do again with that mindset. Positive energy with brings positive, brings that positive vibes, and that creates a very healthy environment for you to grow again as an individual entrepreneur and as a leader in the community.
Yes, that's why sometimes positive people doesn't really start from it's a reality that sometimes you have to be selective on the conversation you're making with your family,
Mhm.
with your mom, with your dad, because especially on my personal experience, if I'm an entrepreneur and my mom and my dad, they're full-time employee on that
Yes,
entire lifetime, they would be overprotected because they care for you, they love you.
yes.
But do not misinterpret that as not as lack of support, but they love you so much that they don't want you to
Mhm.
get hurt. Positive people, you can find it to the people that have businesses, especially if you want to be a beauty queen, try to find a person who's been there, done that.
Right.
If you would like to start a business, try to find an online community of Facebook group that you can vent out about your situation, and then
Mhm.
that is what you call the support that you need. And then attending or listening to audiobooks, I've been listening. I really recommend, if you really want to go through from working to becoming a full-time business owner, try to listen with Rich Dad Poor Dad. I started that. It's free on YouTube.
I
They have
love that book.
audiobooks. Yeah, Tony Robbins. I also like Brian Tracy, Jim Ron.
Mm,
So those are some of the inspirational leaders. And right now I'm listening to Les Brown. Listen to
okay.
them day
Okay.
and
I've
night while
listened to
you're
him.
driving.
I like him
Yes.
also.
hmm
Mhm.
That's but uh, for you guys, who are your support? Who are the people that you surround with most of the time? They said that, tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. Is that correct, Coach
Exactly.
Jill?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Again, what I, I've emphasized earlier, the quality of your friends, the quality of your relationships determines your way of life. So take time to know people, connect with them on an emotional level. I've read a couple of weeks ago that America, which is the sad thing, we are one of the most powerful economic engine of the world. We have some of the most we are host to many millionaires and influencers in this world, but there is a huge number of Americans that are dying of loneliness, Chris.
Yes.
They're disconnected from their family, they're disconnected from their even disconnected from their own sense of direction. And again, it's very important to take time to know the people that can be your key to happiness and success.
Yes, I actually just bumped into this TikTok feed regarding that in Japan, the people that are retiring, they tend to commit petty crimes just to be in the
Oh
facility.
yes.
I don't know if that's
Mhm.
true, because on that facility they have support system, they have people that they can talk to. They
Mhm.
do not just being abandoned.
Mhm.
That's the reality. Like the more that we get older, the more that we have to surround ourselves with people
Yes.
that walk and talk like us. It's very important to have a purpose of living every single day. That's why on number 3, you have mentioned here also, another strategy is to learn coping skills like form of visualization.
Right,
How does
Chris.
that work?
Yes. So over a period of time, um, there are very important healthy coping mechanisms that you can use. The ma- as a stress is a fact of life. There's really nothing we can do. That's part of our living. We that amount of stress. Now, learning how to handle this stress, learning how to range that stress so they don't become overwhelming, is very important and crucial to your development and your growth as an individual. So there are things that you can really do, and some of these learning coping mechanisms includes humor. Learn to laugh at your mistakes. Don't take life too seriously. um, the
Yes.
other um, the other thing is writing and reading. Chris, I love this mechanism because I'm a great reader. I'm a voracious reader, and reading
Yes.
allows me to travel to time and places that I've never been. and experience a different way of life, and that helps me calms my mind. The other thing is the deep breathing exercises, which is a very important thing to bring focus to yourself. And then, as you've mentioned, the value of visualization board. So the visualization board is really creating a space for yourself. In that board, you're gonna put words or photos or pictures from any magazine, or write any words that really creates that vision of happiness, that vision of success that you wanna, set yourself up. And again, the mind is the beginning of our journey to anything in this world. And when you understand your purpose and your mission in life, and using that visualization to articulate that you become a very powerful individual. Chris,
Yes.
10 years ago, I've
Mm-hmm.
went through changes in my career, and one of the things that really affirmed me through that visualization board was it allowed me to become intentional in my purpose in life. I don't want to engage in things that doesn't matter anymore. I don't want to engage in people that does not bring growth to me. So when we are intentional, um, you it gives you that focus, and that helps you handles your stress level, Chris. So I would suggest, it's a topic that we can talk about next time, how you can use the visualization board as a launching pad for your dreams, for your, whether that dream is to start your multi-million dollar company, or even just start a relationship. So yeah, I think those are healthy coping mechanisms that you guys can use to handle the stress around you.
Yes, what are the two takeaways I got from what you've said are the books and also the powerful words for you to have.
Right.
I was just listening, like I mentioned about I'm not really a reader. Not everybody would be a reader, but I'm a
Yes.
listener. Right now, there's no
Yes.
excuse on learning and absorbing the things from the book. You could download Audible. Siri even has a speak screen that you can activate, and they can read the book for you. What is the highly recommended book that you want them to read?
There's again different people have different interests and topics. I'm very interested with self improvement books.
Self
One
improvement,
of
yeah.
the most powerful books that I've read is the life story of Oprah. I've also
Oh.
been very fascinated about the journey that Mother Teresa, and how she became the power of one. That you don't have to be very wealthy, you don't have to be very successful, and her journey to use the power of love, Chris, has been become a very
Mhm.
powerful and very inspiring. She changed how we expressed kindness and loved in everything that we do. So these two powerful individuals, Oprah and Mother Teresa, their life stories provides us vital lessons that we can learn how they've gone so many things in their lives. And even Oprah, just a case in point with Oprah, her story is a living lessons of success and determination, and never, and really finding that focus and purpose in life. She has been fired for not straightening her hair, and for not um, lightening her skin. She has been rejected because she was a black woman
Yeah.
in Chicago, and those experiences, those failures that she went through, Chris, she used them as a launching pad. She took it as a challenge, and she used that to bring her up to the next level. 10 years after that rejection, Chris, she became one of the most powerful and most influential women in America, in the media. Much of what we, in terms of like this, social media, and the power of using your platform, that came from her. She really understood her purpose in life. And I think finding that role models, that men or women that lead, that serves as inspirational leaders that we all can learn from, I think that's something that we can really go back and read their life stories, the lessons that they have shared, and that can be very, very phenomenal for anyone out there.
When I used to work in the operating room and had to work with an orthopedic doctor,
Mhm.
one less life lesson he told me, Chris, the strongest part of the bone is the one that is broken.
Yes.
because that will be, the body has the tendency to fill that up with enough callus. It has that kind of build, and that will stick. That's why our failure, when we say fail, like fail, it's first attempt in learning, because it gives you more self-awareness in terms of the clarity and conviction. There will come a time, guys, there will come a time that you're the only one who believe on yourself, and that's very important, and don't ever lose that. Everybody can put you down, but if you love yourself, no one can destroy you. And you have to keep moving forward by the powerful words. Start your day with I am. Like saying, I am possible, I am indestructible, I am
Exactly.
beautiful,
I
I
love
am
that.
unlimited. You have to say those two powerful words every single day. You need to remind yourself, because that's the most important tool that you need to get through the days, and days could be months, then it becomes a habit. Because
Chris,
whatever
I
words we say becomes our actions, and actions becomes our habit, then habit becomes our lifestyle, right?
yeah, I just want to share one important thing. When people reject you, when a business says no to you, actually no's represents next opportunity. So
Correct.
I think that's something that we both share. And, rejections and failures are part and parcel of life. What we do with that becomes the defining forces in our lives. And, we can cry the whole day. And after we get rejected at work or even in our relationships,
Yes.
and spend the next 3 years of your life being bitter about it, or you have a choice to use that rejection as, again, as an opportunity to learn and to grow and become your best person. And that's why I like our platform, Chris, because we are all about empowerment. We are all about changing lives and using our platform so that people, entrepreneurs out there, can share and learn how to handle their mental struggles, and using this platform as a way to educate other people too.
And the reality of life, we have to accept that we will receive more no's than yes.
Oh yes.
Whatever, whenever you get, because all these no's, all these rejections are footsteps to a yes. It's a footstep
Hmm.
to an opportunity. Jack Ma,
Exactly.
Jack Ma of Alibaba, he said, even you have 100 or thousands of failures and you get one yes, all those failures and rejections and sorrows will become legendary.
Yes.
And that is very powerful. You only need to
Mhm.
make one yes to make breakthroughs in life. And that's why here, guys, I do encourage to write it down. If you would love to join us, just type in the conversation on the comment. Put the I am beautiful, I am successful, I am worth it, I am unlimited, anything that you can think of, as long as it's positive. What Coach Jill was saying, it's okay not to be okay, but it is not okay staying not being okay. Did you get that?
Yes.
It's okay to
Okay.
acknowledge, you can look on it, but you cannot stare. When you have a problem, you can address it to your friend, but do not do it daily habit.
Yeah.
Just one problem came up with a solution, be a solution oriented person. But if these things are not going to work, everything from step 1 to 3, this is going to go to step number 4, is seek medical attention or help, right? How do you deal with that, or what do you say about seeking medical
Yeah.
intervention?
Chris, it's very important that all of us are be mindful of our mental state, how we think, how we feel every day. If you feel like you're going through a very stressful situations, and you feel like you are unable to handle them well, and you see an impact of that stress on your work and how you relate with other people, then I think that's a great time to seek mental health. There are community resources out there. There are doctors, there are therapists who specializes on understanding and treating mental illness, like anxiety and depression. And there are community resources like the National Institute of Mental Health is the leading federal organizations, and they have been dedicated to understanding the research on mental disorder and mental health. So, to me personally, the earlier that you seek medical help, that could be the first step towards your recovery. And your team can really go through, ways that you need to go through. There are different, they can also provide you with a good understanding of what you're going through, and they can also connect you with other professionals and psychological support systems in the community that can help, make sure that you are handling and staying on point, can manage and handle your stress, whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, that's really affecting your mental health.
And this is very applicable on my personal situation, because on my family, it's a given. I've been open to my friends and to other people on my social media that I have a twin brother suffering from schizophrenia
Right.
stage
Mm.
4. I do think that if we were able to seek medical help at the onset of the condition, things might be different. And that's
Yes.
why having that kind of, when you were like very young, high school, and having a family member that's very close to you suffering, you don't really have a full grasp
Mhm.
of the situation, of how to handle it. And sometimes if you live in the dysfunctional family, and I said that I did not have that normal family where we are getting along really well, this is the time that we need to be guided by a profession, by a
Exactly.
doctor, that how we can handle the stress. Because in that case, you cannot see yourself if you're in the picture. If the
Mm.
problem is coming within the house, therefore there should be somebody that will have a third party consultation or opinion on how to handle things. That's why when my mom, before she turned 60, this was way back
Mhm.
2018,
Mhm.
my I been already telling them to not to take care of my brother because we're not capable.
Right.
And then they're not getting younger. The next thing we find out, my twin brother suffered an accident, and that was the time
Uh,
that we really have to take this drastic
yeah.
measure. Even I do disagree with my brother. He wants to take care of my brother, and I said,
Yes. Mhm.
you just suffered a heart attack.
Right.
You're not going to be capable. Let me take care of this. The most important thing at the end of the day is we have peace of mind that there's some
Right.
facility that taking care of him and well attended. And thank God for the past 4 years now, my brother has no COVID situation. He's
Right. Mhm.
maintained in the National Center for Mental
Right.
Health.
Right. Chris, it's very important. There are professionals out there that are very trained to give you advice, to give you to talk about, ways that you can really move forward with your treatment and your recovery. So it's very important. That cannot be understated. The significance of making sure that you seek professional help when you feel down, extremely down, and when you feel like you're not able to function anymore. So there are support systems in the community that you can really reach out. Churches also have
Churches,
very
yes.
wonderful, yes, they play a very important role in, providing that support system.
The
So
moral and
yeah, I
spiritual.
think yes, that's very important. And again, there is that spiritual component. I think our when we take care of our spirit, we take care of our mental health as well.
Yes, also in the Philippines, that we are a traditional country, we tend to do to feel many years ago that this is a taboo, that
Hmm.
this is like a curse,
Right.
that you're a lower
Mhm.
class of the society. But that day has gone. Everybody should
Right.
acknowledge
No.
that
Yes.
depression exists, and
There
that's the reason.
remains, yes, there
Yes,
remains a stigma when people, wants to talk about depressions. But I think as a society, we need to break down that stigma. We need to say no. We need to say it's okay to have these conversations, because these conversations can lead to solutions. And I think you and me as leaders in the community, it's good to let other people know that there are community and organizations and churches that can really help this individual suffering from depression or anxiety. And I think that's something that we can really do together, Chris, and especially given our platform.
yes, that's the reason why vulnerability is power. Because when
It
you're
is.
vulnerable, and then you acknowledge, it creates that power, because that power, when everybody connects with someone, you build that
Right.
kind of relationship that people, oh, Coach Jill is not really invisible, like she's in America and she's not going to be suffering financial distress or personal or emotional. But
Mhm.
when you are vulnerable, yes, this is what I am, but this is what I can do. And then when you have that kind of vulnerability, it creates that kind of relationship. And then from there you find connections, and out of that connections you find inspiration. That's the
Exactly.
reason why it's
Mhm.
very important to have a third party validation as early as in the onset of the symptoms. And
Mhm.
that's why we lead on the last tip, on number 5, where we have to have supporters from families and friends.
Chris, again, as I've said earlier, family and your friends are a very, very important support system. They are your best support system. Unfortunately, there are people out there that don't have, and I think friends can serve with that purpose. And it's very important to look at their character and, and whether their values are consistent with supporting you. Again, when you're down and out and you feel like it's about to end, try to reach out to a family member. Find someone that you can have a very important conversations about difficult issues, whether it's depression or whether in anxiety, because when you have that support system, when you have a very good relationship with your family, that really shields you with so many things, the breakdown of your coping mechanisms. And again, I think out there, just really being kind to others, to any of our family members, and then also make sure that we reach out. I had a dinner a couple of months ago, a few weeks ago, and someone talked about, because I lost my mom, and the grieving process affects your mental health. And someone said, "Oh, don't worry about Miss Jill. She's very strong." It's very important that we don't assume that people are very strong. It's very important that to understand that people have vulnerability, that we can have down
Yes.
moments, that it's okay not to feel okay, like what we have talked about. And so make sure, Chris, and our listeners out there, reach out to someone out there that you feel is not feeling good about her life, or the direction of her career is going through, or whether that relationship that she's having is not going through. Maybe, that could be the life that you can live. Yeah, I think that it's this is a very important conversations, and those 5 strategies, Chris, can really help and change a life. And I'm very grateful that we have this platform.
Exactly. And also, like, sometimes when somebody's talking to you, one thing that I've learned is
Right,
you do not have to give advice most of the time.
right.
Sometimes when
No, you
someone
just have
is
to listen.
addressing, yeah, and then I realized that that when you say everything is going to be okay with someone, you are actually dismissing the
No.
emotion or
Mhm.
the feeling. So I thought first it's helpful, but at the same time, you being there
Yeah.
and just reflecting his or her thoughts, it's a good way of support. You just have to
Right.
listen, and then because somewhere
Chris,
along the way they will figure things out on their own.
yeah, always remember that listening is a strength. It's a very powerful skill that we can help our friend and our family member. Chris, an hour has almost reached, and we had a very powerful and influential conversations. And yeah, I think we definitely topics for our next conversation. And I hope have brought the issue of mental health for entrepreneurs, for individuals there, to the forefront. And I hope that this digital space has really empowered individual out there through our discussion today.
Right, and someone out there is listening and might be needing this kind of conversation. For those of you guys, this Thursday live chat with Chris and Jill, we are doing it every other Thursday. The next one will be
Yes,
on February 24th. We're going to talk
yes.
about self development for to develop to become successful in anything that you do. Then again,
Well, I'm
we
very
are
excited with that topic, Chris. That's very close to me. One and I want to leave this morning with a very powerful thought that the best investment that you can make is really the investment that you do for yourself, and that's personal empowerment.
Correct. And that's very well said. Again, guys, thank you for
Thank
joining.
you.
If you have not joined the group, we have a
Thank
Chris
you.
and Jill live group that will be posted. And also, after this, just put your takeaways. What are the one, two, three things that you learned from this? Again, guys, thank you. I've seen that there's no
Thank you,
comment right
Chris.
now. But then again, we are welcoming everyone to be part of our group. Chris and Jill, we're talking about entrepreneur because our mission and vision is to build entrepreneurship in the global scale. Again, thank you for watching. Again, I'm Chris and I have
And
Coach
I'm
Jill.
Jill.
Yes. And you
Thank
guys
you.
have a good Thursday or a good day wherever you are. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.